With Warlock's bottom tree in a trash can and Hunters having a poor excuse of a Warmind cell, let's talk about the Titan Solar subclass, as they somehow got the most amount of changes, but by some miracle, they come out on top. So, without further ado, let's get started. Hello everybody, my name is Hepogen, and welcome back to the mess that is my channel. And let me tell you something, this build is really good, and can only get better with the gameplay that you're seeing. And what you are seeing is me doing a solo flawless run through the Prophecy Dungeon with this Titan build. So why this Titan build is so good is really that you can still have restoration times 2 without the need of classy restoration. How, you may ask? Well, it's all because of the broken exotic right here, Lorelei Splendor. Let me tell you why. So, when you are critically wounded and have full class ability energy, or when I cast a barricade, I create a sunspot in a location that has improved restoration effects, i.e. restoration times 2. And before we go on to the mods, I want to go over our subclass and break down how everything goes. Up first is our barricade. Now for this, I'm going to be using the Relic Barricade, as it is the faster charge barricade over the towering. Would I use towering in any other scenario? Yes, but for this case with only using Lorelei, I'm going to be using Rally. Now for our melee, obviously we're using hammers. Everyone is using hammers. I am no exception to this. It is really good at what it does. And out of the multitude of grenades we have here, I choose either the solar grenade or the swarm grenade. Anything is decent, but these are my two choices. Up next we have our aspects, and for the first one we're going to be using Roaring Flames. Mainly because it's for the increase in ability damage, and as well to have a solar melee just to help cause ignitions. It's good for damage, and it's good for ad clear. Up next we have Sol Invictus, and what this will do is 1. Give us restoration, 2. Give us increased ability regeneration, and 3. Help our super drain more slowly so we can do more damage in turn. And now for fragments, the first one up is going to be Ember of Torches. When I do a powered melee attack, I make myself and nearby allies radiant. I have Ember Empyrean, so that way I can extend restoration and radiance. I have Ember of Ashes to cause more scorch stacks. I have Ember of Singeing to increase the regeneration of my barricade. Now this will synergize well with Throwing Hammer, as well as our aspect for Roaring Flames. Since we'll always have an uncharged melee, technically it counts as a powered melee, so it'll always be procced and infinite uptime on that radiant. And then for Empyrean, we'll always increase our duration because of our abilities and our weapon and the weapons that I'm going to be using. Up next is Ashes. This synergizes with Roaring Flames, since you can cause now from 30 to 45 Scorch stacks, which in turn cause those 3 melees, so you can do a 1-2 punch build in the process. And then for Singeing, it's just going to help us get our barricade faster, because we're going to be scorching everything in our path. So the faster we get our barricade back, the better. Onto the mods here, starting from head to toe, we have on our helmet 1 Ashes to Assets and an Elemental Charge, just so that we can become charged with light, as we are constantly spawning wells. For our gauntlets, we have on 1 Impact Induction and a Bountiful Well mod, so we can get an additional well for the well mod we're using. And in that case, it's going to be Melee Well Maker, because we're always going to have our melee up depending on if it is our hammer or our uncharged melee. That is there because of Roaring Flames. Moving on to our boots, we're actually using Protective Light. I understand that is only a 10% damage reduction, and you could very well just use Well of Tenacity. However, there's no way to spawn Void Wells without the help of Reaping Wellmaker, and I barely use my barricade as it is, so there's no point in that for me. You can do that, but that's just not for me. And it gets rid of the synergies that there is. And for the class mod, in terms of synergies, I am using Well of Ordnance to get more grenade energy, since that is the only thing that is not being recharged quickly. And since our melee and barricade is up all the time, it really doesn't matter that much. So, final thoughts about the build. This build is the best of a sustainability build that we're going to get in terms of being a Titan. It is very versatile, and yes, I know the damage is not there, but certain exotics will put it to the test and actually make this build even better than it already is. So, I believe that this is one of my best builds that I've made, and I believe that is GM worthy. And I'm excited to put it to the test when I do eventually play GM. So, that's it for me. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and as always, have a good one. Get the better. What? Mission accomplished. GG's.